Good morning you guys, it's Karen, and you may remember in my last video on the Drunk Elephant sunscreen I mentioned that it's a bit difficult for me to do videos at the moment because time. Basically Kev's hurt his knee, I'm doing the walk-in, yada yada yada. But the biggest problem is actually researching, because I want to do that video on the Ordinary vitamin C's, and there's some other sunscreens that I really want to tell you about, but I need to really do my research and get my notes together. So I thought I would come and do a video and tell you about my favourite skincare under £10, because I've done a lot of videos. You know, I've reviewed the Boots ingredients, I've done the Boots Glow range, I've done the Beauty Based skincare range, I've done the Superdrug skincare range, and so I thought I'd come back and tell you about my favourite items that are under £10, because there's some really good things here. And then in the current situation, I'd imagine there'll be a lot of people wanting to save money, and you know, there'll be people that have lost jobs. We don't know. We've taken a big pay cut, but we don't know if Kev's job is secure or not. So it was a good time for me to revisit my favourite items of skincare that were not expensive. So the first kind of category, if you like, is cleansers, because I have the most cleansers to talk about. The first one I did its own review of, and it is this, the Ordinary Squalane cleanser, and I think in it I told you that I loved it, that I wasn't sure it was going to be a repurchase for me because it does sting my eyes taking off my eye makeup. But I have actually been using cleansers more recently and just taking my face makeup off in the bath and then just using an eye makeup remover, etc. on my eyes. It's a different way of doing it, but it's been working out for me, and especially because I've got quite a lot of cleansers to use up. But I started using this one and I really enjoy it. It's just so, it's very gentle, and it doesn't make my skin feel tight afterwards. So the Ordinary Squalane cleanser is definitely a winner for me. I still don't know if I'll repurchase it because there's another one here that I just adore because of the scent. But if you have very sensitive skin, this would be a great one because there's no fragrance in it. Next is the Q&A Peppermint Daily Cleanser. Do you remember I did the video on the QA skincare line? I did that just recently, and there's a couple of items that I love from that range. But I had the licorice lip oil, and do you remember the packaging had broken? It had sort of popped at one end and was coming out, and I was using it on my hands. A lady got in touch with me from Q&A and said that she was apologised about the packaging and said she would resend me a lip oil, or if I wanted she could send this, because I'd said in the video they want to try it. So I accepted this and I love it. I absolutely love it. I've said before that for me personally, I'm not as bothered about fragrances that I rinse off of my face. If I'm not going to be leaving it on my face, it doesn't bother my skin. I'm not so bothered. And I know that peppermint, I know that I'm okay with peppermint. And this just for me makes me want to take my makeup off in the shower. It makes me want to cleanse my face. It's just so nice. You know, you put it on, it doesn't sting my eyes at all. That's my only concern, was it might sting my eyes. But it didn't at all. I don't mean I used it to take my eye makeup off. I did just go round my eyes, but even going up here with peppermint, I thought it might make them sort of water, but it didn't at all. It was so refreshing. I absolutely love this. Yeah, can't say enough good things about it. I really, really enjoy it. If you've got super sensitive skin, then it might not be for you because of the peppermint in it, but for me, I know, like I said, my skin's absolutely fine. There was another product that had peppermint in it, which was, now was it the Beauty Based skincare, I think, that I also liked. I don't even think I'm talking about it here. So anyway, that's another cleanser. And then another one that you can use with or without water. This is the Be Pure Micellar oil from Superdrug. You can see I've used a lot of this. This is one that I have used in the shower, mixing with water, so putting it on my face and then sort of rubbing it in and then rinsing it off, using a face cloth to take it off. And I've also used it on cotton pads. The way that it tells you to use it is to wet your face and then use it on a cotton pad, which I just find a bit of a weird way of doing it, but you can use it any way you like, and I really, really enjoy this. It's a little bit more greasy than some of my favourite oils, so it is one that goes to milk when you use it, but it's not quite as, it doesn't rinse away as clean as, say, the Body Shop chamomile cleansing oil, but considering it's inexpensive, it's really, really good. Okay, this next one I've just had to take out of the box. I bought 3 of these because they were on offer at the time, and I don't want to be without them. I absolutely love it. This is the Inkey List Oil and Water Double Cleanser. So you can see it's got the sea buckthorn oil in it, which I just adore. You shake it, and then I use this to get off mostly just my eye makeup remover, but I will then, if I haven't in the shower taken off my foundation, I'll then do a first pass with this as well, and it just what's lovely about this is there's no dragging of your skin. That's what's really important to me. You know, that I can just go over it and I don't have to really push into my skin, and the same on my face. And this just attracts the dirt to it. You know, it's fantastic. I absolutely love that. That's one of my ones in reserve. Now, I think even less expensive than that is this, and I thought this might be a dupe, and it almost is. This is the Vitamin E Dual Phase Cleansing Oil by Superdrug. So you can see it's the dual phase. It doesn't have sea buckthorn oil like this one does, and this one has fragrance. It's got a kind of baby powder smell. All of the vitamin E products from Superdrug do. So you shake it and use it in exactly the same way. I've been using this week sort of on one eye and this on the other eye, just to see how they compare. This one doesn't work quite as well as this one, so I can use this on my eyes, take off all my eye makeup, go back in with this and get more off, basically. So this one is a little bit more effective, but this, I'm certainly going to continue to use this, and this would be a choice if money was an issue. The final product in the cleansing category, if you like, is this No Rinse Micellar Water by Belei. Actually, this in here is the B micellar water from Superdrug, but I do love this Belei micellar water and will definitely repurchase, but I used it all up and I actually really like this size of a bottle, and the fact that it's got that little tiny hole, you know, those type of tops. Yeah, I really like everything about this. And this one had a cucumber scent, which I love. So in fact, I'm going to go and order some right now. Next, I wanted to talk about this brightening serum. This is the vitamin C plus peptide serum from the Beauty Bay skincare range. I don't know whether this is back in stock or not, because when I did the video on the Beauty Bay skincare, this one was one of my favourites of the whole line, and it was out of stock. I went to try and repurchase it, so hopefully it's back in stock, but I absolutely adore this. There's none left using the dropper, but there should be a little bit in here for me to show you. That's what it's like, and I'm recommending this mostly because I love how it makes my skin feel. It just feels like a really luxurious serum, and the ingredients are good insofar as there's no fragrance, there's no alcohol, there's peptides in there, which I'm not necessarily going to buy it for the peptides, but peptides, if nothing else, are moisturising. And there's a vitamin C derivative in there. I think it's sodium ascorbyl phosphate in this, but there's a derivative anyway, which means that you don't need to worry about, well, what do I mix? What can I not use with this vitamin C? Because it's a derivative, it's absolutely fine. So you can use this with anything. This would be lovely to use after retinol or retinoid or anything like that, you know, and it just, I loved the way it made my skin feel. So this is definitely a favourite and one that I will be repurchasing. Okay, on to what I've been using as a night cream. This is the Boots Ingredients Hyaluronic Acid Cream, or Hyaluronic Acid Moisturiser. It's only a tiny little tube. That's the, I suppose, biggest complaint I have with it. But you can see it there. It's a very thin lotion, but it means that it feels very, very lightweight. It doesn't feel like, I prefer a cream that feels almost like a gel, and this is like that. It feels almost like a gel cream going on, but it gives a lot of hydration. You know, it doesn't make my skin feel tight. I don't have to make sure I use an oil with it or anything else. This on its own is absolutely fine, but it doesn't leave my skin feeling greasy. It's really, really nice. I wish it was in a bit of a bigger tube. These are, I think these were the ones that were all £4, so a really good price, but I'd much prefer a bit more of a bigger size of a tube, because what is this, 20ml or something? Can't actually read it. Oh, 30ml, but still, there's not very much in here. But I really, really enjoy it. So that's what I've been using as a night cream a lot of the time. And then the final product to show you is a mask, and I did talk about this recently. This is the Boots Glow range, and this is called a gel mask for a healthy looking glow and intense hydration. I wouldn't say that it gives you a glow, or it didn't give me a glow anyway, but I've been using it on my neck and it does give intense hydration. Actually, I can feel that right there, because before doing this video, I was looking at my neck in the mirror I've got here, because I've noticed there's a little bit here that when I look a certain way, it is now completely crepey, and I don't know if that's just the passage of time and I'm of that age where it's now, not only have I got the lines and the sagging or whatever, but it's now getting crepey, or whether my skin is just super, super dry. And so because I had this here, I put a bit on. I've not actually taken it off, but I can feel how soft it is. And that's what I loved about this mask. I used it And I think I remember explaining it to you that I used it on my face and I used up to here. And I rinsed it off, and afterwards I could feel the difference, the clear difference between where I'd used it here and here. It just felt sort of silky and really, really nice. And I've used it a couple of times since. And like I said, I've been sort of using it on my neck and just leaving it on there, and I feel like it's sealing in the moisture. So really, really enjoyed that. And that one I think is £4 or £5. So really, really good value for money, that one. I was nearly going to say that's it, but there's three other things to tell you about actually that I either don't have or aren't here yet. So the first one is the bee oil from The Ordinary. So the bee oil is one that I absolutely adore. I'm currently using a combination of the sea buckthorn and the borage oil. I love both of those oils from The Ordinary, but the bee oil is one that I really loved as well, and it's their only mixture oil, I believe. That's one I'm going to reorder from them and use when I run out of the sea buckthorn and the borage, and I'm at the very, very bottom of the borage oil. So the bee oil is absolutely lovely. Then there is the vitamin C powder from The Ordinary. I did a whole video on that talking about recipes, etc. And I didn't think I would ever repurchase it again, but my interest has been piqued about what else I can add it to and how I could use that versus a vitamin C serum. And so I've ordered some of that. So I'm just waiting for that to arrive. And I think the powder it's tricky but versatile. I think I said at the end of the video that I did, a few years back, that it's really tricky to get the right amount that's not going to be irritating to your skin and that absorbs well, that you use it with the right product. But it does seem to be possible, and over the years a lot of you guys have told me what you use it with and how well it works for you, so I'm going to give it another try. It's just so versatile, and it's just a really inexpensive way of having vitamin C, and it lasts a long, long time, that pot of powder, And the final product to talk about is a Revolution product that, again, I don't have because I've got so many moisturisers to use up, but it is one I would repurchase. It's called Mattify, and it has niacin in it. I wish it didn't come in a jar, but it does. But it's the most beautiful cream. It's one that, again, it feels almost like a gel cream, or it feels like a gel cream. It doesn't leave my skin feeling tight. Even though it's called Mattify, it doesn't leave my skin feeling tight, and it does leave a beautiful finish to your skin. And I like the fact that it's got niacin in it, and this is one Revolution product that didn't have alcohol or fragrances or anything like that. So that's a product I would buy again, and like I said, I wish they didn't do it in a jar, but other than that, I absolutely adored it. So I wanted to tell you about those that I don't have to show you. And that really is everything. So I hope that that was interesting to you. Let me know if any of these are your favourites, or if you've got another favourite that is under a tenner. I think that's, I did have a little category here of under a £5, but there's only a couple of things in there. And so some of these are under £5 as well. I think it's a lot easier to get budget good ingredients skincare nowadays. So yeah, let me know what your favourites are. I will list all of my makeup in the description, and I'll speak to you again soon.